Hi, Sarah. Okay, I've got your work up. I was just reading your writing. Um, Okay, so you're talking about a feminine look. Just keep in mind, the more feminine your logo is, the more you're going to appear to be a designer that can only design in that particular style. That's why we try to stay away from extremely masculine, extremely aggressive, extremely feminine, extremely subtle logos because imagine a logo that's designed really super aggressively. Okay, and then the viewer will look at that, like a potential hiring professional will look at that and say, okay, I need a really versatile designer, but based on this designer's logo, it appears as though they're going to be really an aggressive designer, and that's something I'm going to try to stay away from. So interchange that word aggressive in there with anything masculine, feminine, or anything that's overly pointing to one specific style could end up working not in your favor. Okay, so keep that in mind. I don't find the logo to be overly feminine at all. I think what I'm seeing here is more detail oriented, more finesse than more so than feminine. And that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. So I think this can work, definitely. There's a few things I would recommend. Um, Now, the S, I think the S itself is probably a S from a cursive typeface. And it seems to be as though it was doctored. I think this stroke right here. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm perfectly fine using an ornate cursive um, decorative typeface, like this kind of scripted font. I shouldn't say cursive, I should say scripted. So I'm okay using a scripted font. My only problem with this S is look at the angle. I mean, the angle is so extreme. This is called the stress. We would measure the stress of this S by looking at this point right here and this point right here. So you can see that angle is very extreme. I think this would work better if you were to find a cursive, or I should say a scripted S that wasn't, it's not on quite that type of an angle. Take that S and use the characteristics to create these kind of flourishy, kind of fleur-de-lis elements that you've created. I think they're quite nice. I think they're going to work. One thing you want to pay attention to is try to keep these as consistent with the weight of the original letter form as possible. So as we can see right here, this is the thickest part right here. Right here is the thickest part of the letter form, but we can see these are so much more beefy and fatter. So that's kind of causing the S to recede in the composition, and it's almost to the point where you might not even recognize it as an S. By developing these so they're a little more consistent with the stroke width of the S is going to bring those on the same visual plane and create some consistency in presentation. I don't recommend a italic typeface, oblique italic typeface. I don't recommend it. I think in this particular case we would have a wonderful contrast if you selected something like a modern grotesque typeface or a modern sans serif. Boy, something like even Helvetica would work great. Something along those lines. Universe would be something that would be beautiful. Gill Sans would be gorgeous in this case. So I think that right now the complexity of the logo itself, and I'm not saying it's overly complex, it's not, but it does have some features to it. And I think that those in conjunction with the serifs here and the oblique or the italic typeface, I think it's almost too much to process. Let's simplify things. Let's try those recommendations and see if you like them. Go ahead and repost here when you're done working, or write in the general questions area of the discussion board. So either way, just get it back to me. I would prefer you didn't email me your next iteration because I would like other students in the class to benefit from the critique as well as the exchange. So, okay, so definitely looking forward to seeing this one worked out. It's a great start, really good job, good thought process, great writing, everything's working out great. So definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing this. So yeah, so go ahead and get this reposted as soon as you complete some more work on it. All right. If you have any questions at all, Sarah, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. All right. Thank you so much for sharing.